everybody for tuning in to the next episode of the Ramen. I want to remind you this episode is sponsored by Bedtime Bible Stories. BedtimeBibleStories.com is the explicit yet verbatim and artfully drawn stories from the Bible that you know and love. Only graphically drawn, so you can really get a feel and a taste for what is being said and how just clearly fucked it is in a lot of ways. So BedtimeBibleStories.com. Check it out. You can find it on Amazon. They going to be sponsoring a couple more episodes of our show, and we're very happy to have them. Aaron, while we're waiting for him to get his mic worked out here, you had met with him recently in Arizona or New Mexico?
Oklahoma.
Right? Oklahoma, that's right. Right, the place where he's actually taken them to court. Tell us about that.
Well, I was giving a presentation in Oklahoma City, and I realized that this was shortly after they had, I think in January, to put up a statue, a $25,000 statue of at the courthouse. We're getting some background noise. Is that you, Adam?
That's good. You got him. I can hear you. It's a little light, but yeah, I think you're coming through.
I'm coming through? Okay.
Yeah, it's faint. Let's see if we can do something about the volume. Your picture's frozen too, but that's not as important right now.
Volume.
I'm going to grab some headphones so I don't cause feedback.
So, while we're waiting, I want to talk a little bit more about something that I'm personally involved in right now, and has been very, very, very powerful. I've gotten tons of messages and emails about it. That's the Normalize Atheism campaign. I'm wearing a shirt right now. It's got the hashtag for Normalize Atheism. It's been a eye-opening experience for me. At the beginning of the month, I started using this hashtag, and it's just taken off. It's been used about 40,000 times this month already. And the stories that I'm seeing from people are as wide-ranging as normalize atheism, so we aren't cutting heads off in third world countries, to normalize atheism because I make cookies with my daughter too. So I encourage everyone to go on Twitter, use the hashtag normalize atheism, start telling your stories about why we should normalize atheism and why it's important, because just like with the Out campaign for gays and lesbians, the more we talk about it, the more people come out about who they are, the easier it is for everyone. So I think that's an important thing, and I'm glad I got a chance to talk about it.
All right, thank you, Mark. Adam Daniels, are you online and operating?
I'm online. I don't know if I'm operating.
No, you sound good.
Yeah, I can hear you now. So,
all right, beautiful.
I spoke with you some time ago when I was preparing my presentation in Oklahoma City, and I would like you to refresh our audience in what it was that your group was doing. I was also told that I had you confused between the Satanic Temple and the Dogma of Angra Mainyu. Right? It's still you in either case, right? It was you that was taking the state to court.
It's a two-way sword. Lucien was the one who originally started the getting the money together and everything. And then he came to me asking me to sign the affidavit to go ahead with submitting the application, and I told him no, but my wife went ahead and signed it for him. And then he had our backing as an actual church, and her being an actual ordained priestess, to submit the application to Oklahoma. Now, the person who was actually suing is a Baptist minister along with the ACLU, suing the state of Oklahoma.
Okay, but they're suing over the existing Ten Commandments. Your suit was different. Your suit was for religious rights for Satanists, and for right. Okay, so if you can go ahead and fill in our listeners on what it was that you did, or what your group did to be involved in all that, and how the sequence of events said, real quick, maybe. Well, not real quick. Go ahead and tell us what happened.
Okay. Well, as everybody's aware, the Supreme Court said there has to be separation of church and state. Especially saying that the Ten Commandments shouldn't be up. But down here in wonderful Oklahoma, they decided that they were going to make a way around the law by it being privately funded. So when that was confronted with the Baphomet statue, the monkey statue, the flying spaghetti monster, and everything else, they had a big fit and they created a moratorium. That moratorium put everything on hold until the court case was over about the Ten Commandments. And so that sat in stalemate. We did go ahead and put in the application. We put in all the paperwork to get that erected up. Then in the meantime, the Satanic Temple was trying to do a Black Mass in Massachusetts, which the Catholics got shut down. And so I decided that we're legal, we're a church, there's nothing we can do.
Okay, so you did get a chance to do the Black Mass in the Oklahoma City Center.
Yes, sir.
Right. Now, I would have probably gone to that, and it wouldn't have been the first time that I'd seen Black Sabbath in the City Center, but I wasn't aware that they were doing that. I would have so loved to have been there to see all of that, all of the protests that was going on. Can you tell us about the protests? I know you weren't witnessing it because you're inside, but tell us something about that.
I kept up with Jared. I can't remember his last name, but he's the guy who stamps out the permits because we got to sign a permit.
We're done for. Everyone, get out.
Through him, eventually, Detective Kimmett came to me at my house. We discussed everything, and when he explained to me how many protesters are going to be there, how many groups they actually diverted, and basically they were shutting down 2 groups out of Tulsa because they like to cause trouble a lot. And then he went over the full plan with me, and then I had to go over it with my folks. And even got to the point that I was suggested by the Oklahoma City Police Department to call my children's schools and make sure that they keep an extra eye on them so they don't get taken from the bus or anything else. The protest outside got.
So let me just soak this in for a moment.
Okay.
The Satanists have to call the police to protect their children from the Christians.
Yes, sir.
Okay, just want to make sure I'm on the right field with you there. Go ahead.
Well, I have 2 handicapped children, so they ride the short bus. And anyway, so we got plans arranged with the lead detective for the whole thing. We got several death threats over the internet. We had several things that had to be investigated. I got all kinds of, I got a book in the mail that said 23 Minutes in Hell. I had Catholic amulets mailed to me. It was just ridiculous. By the time everybody got out there, if you actually look at the protest, the Catholics busted a bunch of old people all of a sudden. So they can have a good who about they had 1,200 Catholics or whatever here, but they were all bussed in because they didn't know what to do. They were retired. So I wasn't that impressed. Then they had the arrest of the gentleman who was actually catcalling us and stuff while we were trying to abandon everybody in right before the show. And they arrested that guy and took him down the street to the county jail. And then something about some old lady was trying to steal us through the doors, and they arrested her. And then if you watch the video, you can see the crowd, all the Christians are banging on each other, and everybody's trying to
Yeah, I did see some video on that, and I thought that part of it was hilarious, that you have a reported 600 Christian protesters show up, and they all have a common enemy, and yet what I saw in video was how the Protestants were berating the Catholics for their love of sin, and then there was another group of guys that were all wearing these weird purple robes that were declaring themselves more Christian than everybody else because they actually followed all these, Leviticus verses that nobody adheres to, and all of this absurdity. There was some serious whack jobs in that group of protesters.
What was that George Carlin said? My God has a bigger dick than your God.
Yeah, and if you don't believe, kill him. Because if you don't have evidence on which to base an argument, then violence is about the only thing you can do. Because anytime you want to argue in favor of your religion, it's because I said so. And then where's it go from there if they don't accept because I said so as a reason? All right. So, what do you see as the future for the Statue of Baphomet or the Ten Commandments now?
Well, if Governor, what's her name, Fallon, she can't get my name right, I'll try not to get hers right. If she goes through with actually putting it back up, I got a feeling the whole thing's going to crumble because by that point they have to hear it in court during a moratorium. But my understanding is from both our side along with the Hindu side that they're going to push it. They put the Ten Commandments up, they're definitely going to push it, but there's no getting around that. So there's going to be a huge lawsuit, or they're going to decide not to re-erect it. I'm not sure.
What I've seen here is one of the arguments that they were making in the periphery. I don't know where this was coming from. Is they were talking about the Baphomet statue didn't have any historic significance relating to the courthouse because it didn't have anything to do with laws, whereas they say that the Ten Commandments did. And now that I think it's becoming very quickly a consensus among archaeologists and historians and so forth that Moses didn't actually exist, and the Ten Commandments didn't actually exist, and even in the scriptures it was never 10 commandments to begin with. It was many different commandments just between Exodus 20 and Exodus 23, and that what the book actually describes as the Ten Commandments was the set of 10 that is listed in Exodus 34, and that was the one that includes the fourth commandment where people were supposed to sacrifice their firstborn child, and it's the 10th commandment, you are forbidden from boiling baby goats in their own mother's milk. That's